One day you're a cop, you're doing a heroin bust. The next day you wake up in a wheelchair and you can't get yourself up off of the floor. This is how we roll with it. Stay tuned.
Bring on the fire, bring on the rain, nothing can take you down.
And because it happens, people want to know what happens when a quadriplegic falls out of his wheelchair. This is how.
And how'd you get that big old scar on your forehead?
And this is what happens when people fall out of their wheelchairs. I'm gonna get out of the chair, onto the ground.
Show you what it's like.
Two ways, generally two ways to do it. Slide the feet off. Scooch my rump as far forward as I can go. Slide off and do a bench or do a tricep press onto the ground. That's the controlled, safe way. Except my shoulders won't do it anymore. So, I was going to sling myself sideways and I don't want to do it either.
Normally when you fly out, it's on a curb or your wheelchair gets stuck somewhere.
Yeah.
That's when you fly.
Coming off the edge of of concrete.
Right there is when you fall if you're not careful, or if you get stuck, your wheel gets stuck on something and you... There, whoops, not on your head again, not on your head. Ta-da!
So, welcome to Derek's Playtime on the Grass. Every once in a while, a guy in a wheelchair will fall out of his chair. Whether intentionally, whether accidentally, whether your wife gets mad at you and knocks you out, it happens. I don't know if you can see the scar on my head, but yeah, just 10 days ago I did a launch. So one of the things about guys in wheelchairs, girls in wheelchairs, you got to come up with a system, especially when you're younger and the injury is newer, you're independent, you're on your own. I had a great system. I was strong enough in the upper body and the upper limbs where I would take my chair, lock the brakes, all right, pull up my legs.
Okay, so you used to get your legs.
Pull up my knees to my chest. Reach back. This one was weak strength, so I had to use the edge of the seat cushion. This one was my strong hand. And grab, I can't even get back there anymore. And grab the bend in the chair frame on the other side, and you do a tricep press. Lift your rump all the way up in there, and then lean back and drag your butt up into the seat cushion. Another secret, if you're going to do that type of approach, take off the seat cushion, man, because there's 4 inches you don't have to lift. And when you're doing this kind of stuff with life in a wheelchair, inches matter. So this is a whole lot easier to lift up into. I highly recommend it. Then when you get to somewhere you can transfer out of this onto somewhere else, put this back in, get back in your chair, life goes on. But the fact of the matter is, I've been in this chair for 23 years now, and those days are gone. My shoulders are shot. I've got osteoarthritis in both shoulders, and my left one has 2, maybe 3 substantial tears in the rotator cuff. I just can't. And on a serious note, not to mention the increase in my weight, my abdomen has gotten larger. I put on about 30 pounds since I got hurt, and it's a hindrance. It is not a positive in any fashion, man. So, eat right, exercise, protect your shoulders.
Take care of your joints.
Yeah, exactly. Listen to the nurse. Protect your joints. So, those days are, like I said, those days are gone for me. We had to find a way specifically for us at home to get me back off the ground and into the wheelchair. This is what we do.
Because we know I can't lift you up.
Yeah. Like I said, man, I got heavy. We're both getting older. Tiny really can't lift me up anymore. She tries and she does what she can, but it's not easy for either one of us. So we went to a new system. Let me show you.
Here I am, to the rescue.
There's a sexy nurse in the house. Wow, wow, wow.
You're crazy. All right, I'm gonna demonstrate how I get him off the ground when he falls. And we're home.
It takes a 42,000 ton hydraulic crane to get me off the ground.
This is the Molift Smart 150. You can spread the legs on it by pushing this button back here. See how they spread out? You can assist with pushing it out a little bit. There you go.
Although we don't need to spread the legs out on the lift because I'm so skinny. And it's called the Molift 150 because that's all it does is lift 150 pounds.
Right.
That's my weight.
That is not what they said.
What?
Anyway, for safety, there's brakes. You can hit the brake when you're ready to deploy it so that it doesn't fly somewhere when you get the person in it.
Yes.
But there is a nice remote control right here.
Okay.
So brakes on.
right, man. So this is the way it is. It's hard enough to go from being Mr. Barney Badass Cop to waking up one morning not being able to walk. But you're able to lift yourself up off the floor. You're able to be completely independent. But to go from that to an older guy who's got a little round around in the midsection and your shoulders are shot, it's a hard transition to be dependent on folks. It's very hard. So I hope that this video, that lift, gives you some hope, shows you an option, and keeps you motivated to strive on. Because without that, man, without that, we're nothing. The question is, what happens when we're not at home? What happens when we are out enjoying life and I hit the ground?
Out in the van.
Yeah, what happens when we're away from home and I hit the ground? Stay tuned. Stay tuned for video number 2. We'll show you how we do it boondocking style. And I'm not talking about the guns, baby. When life throws you a curve, baby, just roll with it. We'll see you next time.
You should know this ain't my first rodeo. I've been around long enough to know that sometimes